So, Fawnlet Boy Lover Library, Fawnlet magazine. So you'll see a lot of these young boys featured, like this, naked. Just magazines for perverts to look at that think they are in love with these innocent people that haven't completed their human growth. They're putting them in magazines half naked and turning them into adults and not letting them be innocent children that do not know anything about sex. Sex is not important. I didn't know anything about sex until 16, 17, even more. I never thought about sex. It's not even in your consciousness. It's not even part of you. You don't even know anything about it. You just want to hang out with your friends, play games, run around, have fun, and do very silly things and not think about sex, or it's not even in your consciousness. It's not in your mind. It doesn't exist because as a child, there is so much fun to have and so much innocence and so much learning to explore. Sex is purely an adult thing, and it's purely exploitation if you look at it, and not letting these children have their pure innocence and have that mind that does not even know sex, doesn't need it, doesn't think of it, except to play with their friends. So that's your online Fawnlet magazine. That's a sexualized little boy. And they put in a lot of effort in this. Reminds me of Peter Pan. Boy Wiki. It's all coming from Boy Wiki. The boy symbol. Another sexualized photo. Sex has nothing to do with love. So you can check out this magazine. Read this just to understand the psychology. That's your Girl Lover magazine. Some of the poetry that they write, they think they are in love with someone that hasn't learned their ABC. So they're not going to read your poetry or your letter because they cannot read one-eye symbolism, Freemason's orange. So lots of sexualized naked pictures. That doesn't indicate love in any fashion. That's just sexual perversion, wanting someone's body for your own pleasure. These kids don't know what they are getting into, what they are part of. They are just told that they are loved and cared for. And they do it for that reason. But they don't need it. All these naked boys, boy camps, boy choirs, boy scouts. Have to be careful of those things. These are demons. So you can go through this if you want. Fawnlet. The second issue of the Fawnlet magazine has just arrived, published on 21st of December. It clocks 52 pages and features materials from 15 different authors. So there's a lot of people involved in this. So there's a lot of boy lovers and girl lovers, and it's a whole community. So apparently these are some celebrities that got backlash. How sexualized is that? Oh, that's disgusting. Pink and blue. No one kisses their kid like that. It's just gross. These are all boy lovers. These are Bollywood, actually. Bollywood people. So they got apparently told off. But they're openly showing this, that they're all boy lovers, girl lovers. And they're putting this out there. And they do this on purpose because they're in total control of what they share and what they do not share. It's not like they do not have a choice, that these things are just put out there. They have total control. They control everything, every word that comes out on the mainstream. So this Aishwarya Rai is like a Miss World kissing its kid on the lips. So it's all common, like it's all, they are trying to make, I guess, parental love, like this boy lover, girl lover, pedophilia, incest into like parental love. That's not what parental love is. Your mom and dad is not the first person you want to kiss in terms sexually or in a love relationship. You want to kiss your boyfriend or your girlfriend and not your disgusting old parents. Look how gross that is. Ew. Gross, 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 disgusting. So the title of this post is Lip Service. Why would you put lip service and do that? So these are open boy-girl lovers expressing their pedophilic nature and their pedophilic family dynamic. So that's David Beckham. He's been in the news more than once. Gabriella Union. I could almost leave that alone because it's like just kissing a young child. That's fine. But what the hell is that? Tom Brady. So that's like a proper massive kiss implant. So they were all under scrutiny, but they're scrutinizing themselves by putting this kind of content out there and making boy lover, girl lover surface and come to, like, for us to see what they are doing, because they're desperate to be known and heard. As you can see, the Boy Wiki archives and all their desperation to become public, but they are not allowed. So they do this covertly under such articles, and they are openly being boy lover and girl lovers with their lip service articles. So 7 portraits of celebrity kissing their children on the lips. So that's looks very romantic and sexualized, with flowers in the pool, staring at their child. Oh, what a great love. That's pretty funny. That's fully a pedophilic scene. Boy lover, girl lover, whatever that is. They're really getting it on. It's very disgusting. It's a very sexualized image, and that's how they make it mainstream, because they are desperate to be seen and heard, and they get constantly rejected. So they come out like this through their media articles. That's disgusting. No one kisses the child like that. The kid has no clue. You are a pervert. That's disgusting. Nikki Gracia, defense kissing a 5-year-old son on the lips. I can't believe you're so bothered. Look at the pedophilia symbol, that sun symbol at the background. And then someone is kissing their child on the lips, because they are boy-girl lovers, and they do that with their own children. They have that boy-girl lover dynamic. They're basically pedophile under that category, and you can see the pedophile sign, the sun symbol. That is another pedophile symbol. So it's all in our faces, and they just pretend that they are being held accountable, but they're actually putting this information out there and in our faces. Boards for boy chat, Chat Heaven, Meta Chat Boy, the Treehouse, other chat. So there are many chat places on the internet where you have to protect your kids from, because your kids do not know what they are doing. And it is a one-sided adult relationship deciding everything for a young person. Only the parents have the right to decide everything, and not a random pedo dude of the street telling the parents what raising a child is like, and exploring the sexuality of a child is a normal thing. It isn't. And it is just a narcissistic, one-sided passion and love directed towards a young person, and it is only based on sex. The sex is the highlight. And parents that raise their kids unconditionally, give them absolutely everything, their own life, but do not need to have sex with their children. So they are MAP communities, minor attracted person. So they have their podcasts, radios, and magazines. So it is all documented in this boy wiki. And you can go through it and understand what's going on and how children are at risk of being groomed into these thought processes that are sexually driven and not for the proper growth and development of children, but a different kind of predatory love that uses intelligence and all these different storytelling and narratives to try and convey their sexual predatory nature, and that they should seek help and not normalize those behaviors, because it's a kind of hunger that cannot be satisfied because the child grows up into an adult. Then you have to go looking for a new child, so that you don't really love that person eternally, because one day they'll grow up and they'll understand, and they'll go and have a real family, fall in love and do the right thing. And the pedophile that claims to love children so much and know everything about them more than the parent, they will just go on to the next child and the next child and the next child. And they will not love them unconditionally until they are old, which a normal relationship dynamic does that. As a family, they look after each other forever. And we don't jump from family to family. We remain with one family and love them forever. And that's what love is. It is not sexual perversion. And using and deluding yourself in thinking that you love someone, but you're just after sex. And deluding yourself that you love them so much, and exploiting people that have not fully developed and cannot think for themselves, and haven't learned to read and write, and haven't learned anything about anything. So some things they will discuss all the time is like the age of consent, taboo, betrayal of youth, development of sexual instinct, history of sexuality. So pedophilia, guide to love and pleasure, war on sex, truth and repair. So they always have these constant battles because they cannot have sex with children. So all of this intellectual I guess efforts are all like just to have sex with someone. And you can get rid of all of this negativity, all of this, like say, effort to try and make something non-existent into reality, and try to insert the demonic, fallen, angelic pedophilia and normalize that in our world, in our earth, in our spiritual world, with the human body and the human biology, which is spiritual based in the image of God, and trying to intellectualize and legalize that and trying to make that normal. Obviously, it's not going to happen because we are made in the image of God. And that image is everlasting, it's eternal, it's forever. And you cannot change that with your study on sexual development or history of sexuality. You can't change it because it's way too beyond you, beyond your perception, beyond your understanding of what it means to have a human body. And you cannot simply change that with a bunch of documents and research and arguments and history and science. You can't. You can only perverse it further. You can hide, or you can use other means to make your perversions mainstream. But you cannot change the nature of what God has set for the human body, the laws and the rules that God has set for the human bodies. That will be followed. And that is the ultimate truth because it is the image of God himself. And you cannot just come here and steal that and relabel that and make that into something that it's not, because the fallen angels are not made in the image of God. They're not made in the image of the human body. They are of a different angelic descent. They were not made as children. They were made as adults. We are born as children. The fallen angels perceive us differently, and they feel like they can have sex with children because they were not children themselves. So you cannot change that, no matter how powerful you think you are, or if you are a king of this world, the prince of this world, which is Satan. He cannot change that. He can only be a hidden pedophile and have his hidden magazines and his hidden organization and his hidden Disney and all that. I reckon Disney is basically like dedicated to boy lovers, girl lovers. I think it's dedicated to that. So you can do all that, but you cannot change the nature of what God has intended for the human body, and it is going to remain that way eternally. So in the Boy Wiki, they're presenting more of a intellectual, sexual freedom, equal rights, gender equality, all that stuff. You will see within the Boy Wiki scenario. But deep down, all this is happening. So it's like very gross. So that's actually incorrect. Map is minor attracted. And then you have all this hot dog, pasta, walnut, handkerchief, which is bondage, and ice cream. Chicken is featured, young boy. Chicken is featured in the Boy Wiki. Then you have cheese, pizza, sauce. So when they want to source this type of sexual activity, they use like this code. But on the surface, they'll just show you that. And they'll show you like nice magazines. And we're like, oh, we just love children. But they're extremely gross and perverse, and they do all this, and they have all these different food names for their different preferences. And what they do to these children is nothing to do with love, nothing to do with care and protection, which they say that they are giving these children, that they know better than the parents, that the pedophiles love them more, have a more holistic approach to their age and body and sexuality. Sexuality is not even a thing, a major consideration. Sexuality is not even a major consideration for adults, because as adults we have so much things that we need to do before sex. Sex is like a pleasure thing. We have so much other responsibility to fulfill. For adults, sex doesn't come as a number one thing to do in life. There are other more important things to do than sex. Sex is pleasure, is something we do on the side. But sex is in the forefront of pedophilia.